Welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Things.
And we're back, man. Episode 314.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get right into it. There's been some allegations against the Diddler, P. Diddy. He's got some shit going on. The feds pulled up on him. As they pulled up, he was dancing. He was like, now, who hot, who not? Tell me who rock, who sell out the stores. Yeah, you had that.
No, Mace ain't nowhere near that.
Yeah, Mace is like, I don't know what Diddy be doing that night, man. I can't be coming over there no more. All right. So here's some things that have been explained through the other cases. The sexual assault, trafficking allegations against Diddy explained. The accusations are part of a larger reckoning in music, one that some say is long overdue. So we could go through that one. Actually, no. We'll go to the other one that's more recent. Authorities searched Diddy's properties as a part of sex trafficking probe. Here's what to know. In the first 9 months of 2023, Diddy Combs triumphantly performed at the VMAs. Boop, that doesn't matter. But several lawsuits filed late last year raised allegations of sexual assault and rape against Combs, one of hip-hop's most recognizable names as a performer and producer. The music mogul's home in Los Angeles, Miami, were searched Monday by federal agents with Homeland Security investigators and other law enforcement. Officials said the searches were connected to an investigation by federal authorities in New York. The officials spoke to the Associated Press on conditions of anonymity because they were not authorized to publicly discuss details of the investigation. Combs' whereabouts are unknown, but his attorney said Tuesday that the mogul is innocent until and will continue to fight to clear his name. Okay, look here, man. I don't know. This is why I'll use the words alleged. What Diddy did, but what I can tell you is the feds don't fuck around. Okay, when the feds come, they coming to confiscate something. They coming to get audio. They coming to get video, or they coming to arrest your ass. Mm-hmm. Bottom line, the feds don't fuck around, and the feds don't just get a tip like, oh, we've been investigating this for 2 weeks. Let's go with the SWAT team. Mm-hmm. They don't do that. Mm-hmm. What happens is they have been investigating you for about 5 to 10 years. They got the drop on you, homie. Like whatever Cassie did in her case, other people came forward after that. Mm-hmm. And that's causing this shit to happen. What I will say is this. The feds don't fuck around because when the feds arrested my uncle on a drug charge, they came to arrest. They came and picked him up. That shit was all over the news. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure he didn't know what was going on. Feds showed up, motherfucking SWAT team, everybody. Mm-hmm. So, and that was just my uncle. Mm-hmm. But we talking about Diddy. Have you seen the aerial videos? Yeah. Man, that shit looked like a movie. Yeah. Helicopters and shit. I'm like, God damn. Yeah. You can't tap dance your way out of that one, Diddy. You certainly cannot. Somebody, I seen a meme. He said, when I die, don't you dare fucking play I'll Be Missing You by Diddy at my funeral. Yeah. Yeah, it was a very shocking sight, I must say so. And even though we know that, the whole Cassie thing, but that kind of blew over, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it seemed like this whole Lil Rod, that whole thing, I didn't read any of the pages, but that whole thing seemed to be just kind of like outlandish. Like it just seemed very wild. And it for most people, it didn't really seem like very connected to Diddy at all. Just because he hadn't really had the history of Cassie. But when Cassie's thing, came out and it settled so fast, it was almost like, a settlement is not necessarily an admission of guilt. It's right. Just kind of like that you can settle for multiple reasons. You can settle because you about to lose and you just want to, push this away. And you can also settle because you like, dog, I don't want to go through. Drag this out. Yeah, I don't want to go through all of this. So I'm going to just give you this bread and then we're going to sign this non-disclosure agreement and then we're going to go about our lives. So with that, you can't really draw much from that. But the Ray, and it was crazy because it happened, probably
last Monday maybe.
Yeah.
It was like shortly. We had potted already, and then I know I hit you like shortly after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just shocking, man. Like you said, the feds all different. It's like, but it's not only the feds. It's like police officers, it's sheriffs, it's FBI agents, it's Homeland Security. It's every every version of law enforcement that's pulling up to to his house. And I think they didn't show any footage of the New York one, to my knowledge, but definitely the Miami crib and then the crib in LA. They definitely bombarded in there. They showed like there was like a body cam footage of inside the house. They done tore through all the drawers and flipping over chairs and all kind of stuff and pulling out hard drives and all kind of stuff. So
I just wonder. I wonder what celebrities are on all those things, because it's supposedly in some of the 35-page legal document, it was mentioned that people were being drugged and have hours of video of them having sex and shit like that. It was real freak off parties. So he's had a lot of celebrities like Oprah and shit. I wonder if Oprah got a freak tape on there. That'll be crazy. Like, you get to smash, you get to smash, you get to smash, you get to smash.
That's crazy.
Gotta be crazy. If Oprah got a video of her getting smashed, dude, I get
you get some new pussy. You get some new pussy. You get some.
Oh man, that video will not see the light of day. Oprah is way too powerful. I just don't. Yeah. I don't think anything negative would get out.
But that's why some people are saying that they took it to the federal level, because they're saying that there are certain Homeland Security, the way that they handle things is tight knit.
Right.
Nobody knew that this raid was coming. Diddy didn't know, obviously. A lot of times when you're dealing with local police officers, niggas just talk too much because they just too.
They could be infiltrated.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
They probably tell their wife and their wife tell their coworker, and then all of a sudden Diddy know. You know what I mean? So they were saying like with the Homeland Security, they're going to get in and they're going to get all the information that they need that's pertinent to the case. So if you see, I'm not going to say a name, but ex-celebrity in there having sex with another guy, having sex with another girl, whatever the case may be, and it ain't got nothing to do with Diddy, and getting him arrested, then, it's probably not going to see the light of day. But we know from recent experience, sheriff's office, we see pictures of Kobe Bryant, getting licked. That's just casual nonsense like that these freaking sheriffs and police officers do. But these, FBI agents, Homeland Securities, they not with none of they're not with the shenanigans.
I feel like there's been like little micro admissions of guilt over the years through Diddy's music. Mm-hmm. Like he was like, I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that I won't stop. I don't care if you put up a fight. You like, this nigga's describing sexual assault. This motherfucker, man. Then this nigga had an album called No Way Out.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, man. I what I would say is that, this is a very long fall from grace. And I obviously, I'm going to let the situation play out. I'm not going to sit here and act like he did it and this is happening. Jay-Z is involved and Beyonce is like, I don't.
It's too conspiratorial.
All that is like conspiracy. I am a cold, hard facts type of person. So I'm going to just wait till, that we see the court case and we see, what happens if an indictment comes or whatever. But even inside of that, Charlamagne the God mentioned this. He was like, man, it's multiple different emotions. You know what I mean? Because on one end, you want victims to get, justice. And then you also are talking about a person that a lot of people idolize, especially I think on the West Coast, we're not as like super gung ho about Diddy. Yeah. But I think that, for just hip hop culture in terms of, being one of the first hip hop billionaires or, vodka companies and Sean John, we just seen him as a mogul, you know what I mean? And, even, bringing us like, a lot of different, hip hop legends and R&B legends, and having his hands on different things, bringing us the band and all these different things. So we always looked up to him as like, somebody. I don't know if many people looked at him like on a personal level, like, no one ever said he was like, just an amazing person or whatever, but just, just strictly talking about his mogul status and what he did for hip hop and hip hop culture and the example that he had. Like, so to see somebody like that be in this situation is just kind of crazy. It just shows you, like, we talked about it last week with the Nickelodeon stuff. Like, a lot of this stuff is just tied to power, man. Like, when you get in certain positions and you're like, maybe life gets boring or whatever the case may be, like, you start to experiment a little bit more. You start to create a life that is extremely convenient to you. The thing that I would say, kind of talking about that convenience, like I mentioned on the podcast before, I was in a studio session with Diddy, and I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm like me and Diddy was in the studio and he was on the board and I was in the booth, and like it wasn't really like that. I was just holding a camera, basically, standing in the corner. But I would say like a lot of his life is like he makes so much money, and he's curated a lifestyle for himself that's like he kind of walks around like royalty. You know what I mean? Like, he has people handling his phone. He has people pouring drinks from him. He has people like, if he needs to find something, a song, whatever, like, he'll just say, hey, pull this up, or like, find this for me. Or, it's just kind of like, I don't know how to describe it outside of like your dad that's like, son, come get the remote for me. Like, that's kind of like the type of energy he has. So I would say, like, I would imagine that is in every aspect of his life.
Hey, come fuck my wife.
Yeah, if that's like, so if he, like, for example, if you want to see somebody do that, it's like, hey, how much do I need to pay this man? This, maybe it's a porn star, maybe it's an escort, maybe it's whatever.
Crazy.
How much do I need to pay this person to come over here and do this real quick? Because that's kind of what I want right now. And I'm not saying any of this happened. I'm just saying, like, from my experience, what I've seen is his life is just like not admirable, I would say, but you would just say, like, dang, like, everything is like so simplified for him. He not driving nowhere. He not carrying nothing. He not opening doors.
He's used to controlling people.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you narrow it down, that's a controlling behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And look, if I don't want to be completely insinuating something, but come on, motherfucker, goddamn, like, you still a human. You used to doing that. Imagine, a person that might either be maybe on drugs or maybe drunk. What lengths would they go to do stuff?
Mm-hmm.
It's a trip. Like, once they give him his day in court and they're like, Sean Combs, you may approach the stand, and that nigga just start rapping. And that shit. What y'all want to do? Want to be ballers, shot callers, sprawlers, who be kicking in the bins with the spoilers, trying to get my hands on some grants like Horace. That was a gay bar right there, by the way.
What do you think? What do you think it looks like if he actually, he hasn't got arrested yet, but if he does get arrested and he actually beats the case, like, what does life look like for him?
What does life look like for him? Nothing. I think he already lost. Even if he wins, he lost, because he lost that his reputation has been tarnished over 3 decades of being this mogul and having all these relationships. All this shit's gone. Like, all of it's gone. They showed him at a party not too long ago, or it was more like a I forgot what you call it, like an event,
mm-hmm.
and like Flavor Flav walked right by him.
Yeah, they
didn't even
said,
acknowledge him.
I didn't see that, but there was, I don't know how real it was, but they were saying he was waiting to talk to Kanye West after his Rolling Loud show, and Kanye just ducked him. He said he don't want to talk to him. So
yeah, so that's how you lost. You already lost, because people know the extent. And here's the thing: when a person like Cassie is suffering in silence all those years, there was a handful of people that knew the shit that was going on. The bodyguards, people like that, they knew it was going on, but it was kind of tight knit. So you could tell that there was some level of manipulation or abuse, but because it wasn't open, everybody around couldn't really say nothing. But now that Cassie came out and said, yo, he was forcing me to have sex with sex workers. Like, he was getting like porn stars, like, and they mentioned like legit porn stars with big penises having sex with her.
mm-hmm.
And this is like in having hours. Let me read it in quote. In November, Combs' protege and singer Cassie sued him for alleged sexual abuse, including rape. The lawsuit alleged he forced her to have sex with male prostitutes while he filmed them. Combs and Cassie Ventura began dating in 2007 and had an off and on again relationship for more than a decade. The suit was settled the day after it was filed, but the lawsuit against Combs kept coming. Combs had said in December statement, I did not do any of these awful things alleged. And in February, a music producer filed a lawsuit alleging Combs coerced him to solicit prostitutes and pressured him to have sex with them. Combs' attorney, Sean Hawley, has said of those allegations that we have overwhelming, indisputable proof that his claims are complete lies. Another of Combs' accusers was a woman who said the rap producer raped her 2 decades ago when she was 17. The filings detail acts of sexual assault, beatings, and forcibly drugging allegedly committed in the 1990s by Combs, then a talent director, party promoter, and rising figure in New York City hip-hop scene. Look here, man. All I'm going to say is this. You can't put shit past nobody. Just because it's Sean Combs, like, you can't say everybody's after him. And please, don't miss me with this black man shit. Like, he's a black man. He's a powerful black man. They're trying to bring... Fuck him. If he did any of this shit, fuck him. Give a fuck about that black man shit. Be a good black man. Don't be involved in this bullshit. If you really involved with rape and coercing people, like, bro, you sick, man. Go to jail.
Yeah, I just think that, and it kind of leads to a lot of nonsense, but I think a lot of black people have like a trauma associated with people like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X being investigated by the feds,
right?
And assassinated by the feds oftentimes, and they're just kind of like relating certain situations to that, and sometimes there's merit to it, and sometimes we don't find out till like 40, 50 years later, like, oh dang, this is what was going on. They was tapping his phone, they was doing this, they was doing that. So I get it in a certain sense, but I also understand that like not every situation is like that. There's some people that are really doing like real crimes out here, and they need to.
All I know is this: I let the legal system figure this shit out when it's like this, because it's like everybody that got behind Jussie Smollett, like, oh, it's wrong, because he black and because he gay, and Trump supporters beat him up, and we kept it pretty objective. We didn't really just be like, oh, this is crazy. He had people posting pictures of him on social media. It's like, bro, fuck no, I'm not doing that, bro. When you got so much history of doing wrongdoing, I can't get behind that. Like, if you Bill Cosby, ain't nothing I can say, man. You drugging these girls, giving them Quaaludes and what, like, bro, no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I will say this. I was telling Keith earlier, too. You have to move with a certain amount of caution whenever you're just a man or just a person in general. If you have the foresight that you want to be somebody great, you cannot fuck people over. Some people, this is my belief, some people are being blessed by God and some people being blessed by the devil. That's my personal opinion. And I feel like when you're being blessed by God, it might take longer for you to get to a position or to do something, but you appreciate it more, and you didn't fuck people over on the way. But when you're working for the devil, you done did God knows what for how many years, 2-3 decades, but it all comes crashing down on your motherfucking ass at the end. Yeah. At the end, it's just all taken away from you. You've seen so many stars over the years. Everything stripped away. Everything. And it's like all that shit you was doing, R. Kelly peeing on motherfuckers for years, having sex with underage girls for years. Then he finally get busted.
Why do you think it takes so long?
Because when you're talented, you could pee on whoever you want.
You think? Yeah, I guess a lot of times these things happen when your momentum kind of slows down. It
ain't just that. It's time. People's values and morals change also. But it's power. When people believe in you, it's a dangerous thing. I remember Trump said something. He said, I could shoot somebody right on Fifth Avenue and I still have a lot of supporters. They would still support me. You didn't hear what he said that?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he referenced like, I could shoot somebody dead on Fifth Avenue and I would still have supporters. And I'm like thinking like, this is dangerous.
Yeah, and it's true too.
And it's true.
They would probably say that the government set him up.
They want to set me up just like they did Martin Luther King. I need the black vote. People are voting. I'm hearing things. People are voting. I'm hearing. I'm not sure. That's what people are saying. You'd be like, bro, come on. Let me see here. Let me find that reference.
That nigga Trump wild.
Man.
Yeah. This situation. Why you find that? This situation is just. It's kind of like, it's annoying for me because like there is, when you see things on Twitter, people on Twitter, they got blue check marks now, and they speak opinions and conspiracies as facts.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
But this is why I fact check my shit. He said in quote, right? Just like, and I'm not just being biased towards conservatives, because we just heard fucking Biden, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. It's like, you really said that, motherfucker? But here go Donald Trump. I could shoot somebody and wouldn't lose any votes. This is what he said. Like, I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters. Okay? Trump remarked at the campaign stop at Dordt College. So it's like, bro, this is how motherfuckers think. Diddy the type of dude that probably was at a party at a freak off and just start peeing on somebody right in front of everybody. I bet you he peed on her in front of everybody, but ain't nobody do shit. They know he been doing, a lot of these motherfuckers know that he been doing some of this shit.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, I would say there's a lot of people that don't know as well. Because when I hear artists talk about it, even artists that have been to his party, whether it's Joe Budden, for example, he said, I have been to Diddy parties, and I'll party and I'll hang out, and when it's my time to go, then I'll go. And he didn't say like exactly what that time say. Say the crazy stuff is happening at 2 a.m. He probably leaving at 11 p.m. or something like that.
Yo, this is just the party. I ain't gonna stay for the after party. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You want to party with me in the back room, man? Come on, man.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's definitely a weird energy. And like I said, at this point, all of this stuff is alleged.
It's all alleged.
So we don't know exactly what's going on, but it's
all the names are popping up. Young Miami, I guess. She was implicated in there as basically like a sex worker. I think her and Daphne Joy, 50 Cent's baby mama.
I think if Diddy goes down, I think it's going to be similar to R. Kelly, and I mean that by when you actually look at like what R. Kelly got arrested for. A lot of it is like technicalities, right? Because when you look at the definition of sex trafficking, a lot of it is like it can be tied to like paying somebody or coercing somebody into doing something and then traveling, from state to state, international, all these things. So essentially it could have been like, hey, I'm paying you to come out here and come to Italy with me, and I'm going to kick you down X amount of dollars to, do whatever I say I want you to do and whatever. And then so he can technically serve X amount of years in prison or months in prison for, his relationship with Young Miami. If it was something like coercion or paying or whatever, and she's flying from Miami to LA and all this stuff. So it could be one of those things where it's like, I can prove this. I can prove that you are sex trafficking, but not like the wild version of it. Not like 12-year-old kids, in the back of a van or whatever, or in the back of a truck. It could be like, that.
They said that Young Miami is, they basically try to parallel her to Elaine Maxwell. Like basically, like that's what she is to him. Is what they were saying. So if they could prove that that's the type of situation that they had, they're fucked. Like getting sex trafficking on a federal level is gonna have some big motherfucking time. Yeah, man. So look, there's a whole lot more to this story that's gonna unveil itself. Yeah, But man, all I can say is, man, you got to be solid from day one, man. Don't get involved in all this bullshit and these sex parties, and it's ridiculous. And I don't think all of Hollywood is like that. And I do think that there are people that want to come after you sometimes. And, you know, it could be business dealings. Maybe there was a business deal that they didn't like that you did, and they're finding ways to try to leverage it against you. Who knows? Because I'm going to say this, and I'm going to leave it alone. But this whole case against Dak Prescott seems very, very Deshaun Watson-ish. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, she basically low-key being extorted for $100 million.
I think I agree with you in terms of, like, I don't think that everybody in entertainment is like this. Mm-hmm. I don't even think enough people have that type of power or leverage to do those sort of things. It is tricky, you know, because there are certain situations where when it's clearly, you know, somebody like forcibly taking advantage of somebody, where somebody is like being, I hate to use the word like rape, you know, but I also hate that we don't use the word rape because it's not necessarily a bad word. Yeah, it just is what it is.
But by definition, it's just
So when you hear that term, when people are getting taken advantage of, like forcibly or being raped, that's out of there, right? But when you talk, it's like sometimes these people get convicted for the gray area, you know, even with Harvey Weinstein, you know what I mean? I hate to, you know, to say it, but like the coercion versus like rape is like completely different. It is. Right? So when you you're saying like, hey, if you want this role, you know, you gotta give me a little bit of head or whatever the case may be. Like that's very different from, you know, forcing yourself onto somebody. So I just want to make those clear delineations, but not to say that anyone is better than the other, but I just think that it's very different. And I think a lot of times,
at least with coercion, you're given an option.
Yeah. When we're hearing, you know, these words like sex trafficking and sexual assault and all these things, you know, there's some definitions or there's some actions that kind of go into some of these definitions that are kind of like the lighter version of it, if that makes sense. Like it's almost like murder, right? Mm-hmm. You have like involuntary manslaughter, and you have like with the girl that got convicted on the Baldwin the Rust movie, right? Yeah. The person that was handling the arms, they got sentenced to I don't know if they got sentenced yet, but they got convicted, and it was essentially for being careless. You know what I mean? Because they didn't you know, make sure that the bullets were, you know, blanks or whatever. So that's very different than somebody standing in the middle of Times Square and shooting somebody. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying that to say that it's important for us to know these definitions. It's important for us to know that the term sex trafficking could mean this, and it could also mean something way over here.
Well, when it comes to coercion too, there's also the being in a position of power and coercing people and coercing people. I guess that in itself is illegal, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's where that charge really came from to lock him up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where they got Matt Lauer from his job from. They got him fired from that also. I think it was coercion. Mm-hmm. I guess he told some girl like, hey, we should go to the bathroom here and fuck. And I guess they fucked in there. And then she mentioned it later on. Mm-hmm. You know, That's crazy. That's crazy. To me, I'll say this. I think it's wrong as a person that's like a senior journalist to like be like, hey, let's go fuck in the bathroom. Do you want to go fuck in there? And she's like, okay, thinking that by fucking him, it will move her up the ladder or accelerate her position. It's not right, but I gotta be blunt. It's not right, but it's also a decision.
Yeah,
and no one wants to talk about that because if you do that in today's world, they'll say, "Oh God, you're a sympathizer of this or that." But we have to understand we're talking about you don't have to do it. Like you don't have to go fuck this person in the bathroom. You can quit. Like, and I'm gonna just say this too: Bill Clinton was a piece of shit for what he did, right? Especially passing off Monica Lewinsky as like a stress reliever for his mental health and whatnot. And he was a liar. But Monica Lewinsky was an adult. Mm-hmm. And she didn't have to suck his dick.
And she knew he was married.
And the president. Can we have a full conversation about these things without just being passed off as you're just a misogyny maker? It's like I'm not siding with Bill, but objectively speaking, she did not have to suck his penis, and she knew the man was married.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
those are the things that people. If you ever bring it up, you're the bad guy.
I guess the only pushback I would say, and this is just me playing devil's advocate.
Excuse me.
Is that we know coercion is illegal, in a lot of these cases. So I guess it's just up to people to be more, make better decisions when it comes to these people in power. But at the same time, it's like it's a real gray area. Like, what's the difference between I think it's all coercion. Like when it comes to like people talking to the somebody that they want to have sex with or something like that, it's a little bit of coercion and all of that, kind of, right?
No, I think that's not the right definition. I would probably use more persuasion, but not coercion. What do you mean? Just like, hey,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's a sunny day outside. You know what sounds good? Sex.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like you're not necessarily coercing the person, but also it's a loose definition. You know what I mean? That's why it's just like, in some way, shape, or form, you're trying to persuade somebody, or you're using, whether it's your looks, your job, or your charm, or the riz, whatever you call it. You're using all of that in some way, shape, or form to take advantage, not take advantage, but to get what you want out of the situation.
You're leveraging your position to do something. So your position is like a 6'3" handsome man that's in shape. You're leveraging that to get laid. Yeah, I would say it'd be more of a leverage situation. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But I will say this before we move on. The whole idea of coercion is it's not like it's just loose, but
let's look up the definition.
I have it right here.
Yeah,
I have it right here. The practice of persuading someone to do something by using force or threats.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So that's very different than
it's a
just
little different.
Like talking,
But it says a similar force, compulsion, constraint, duress, oppression, enforce, harass. You know who uses coercion every day, and they should probably be sued, is these corporations. The way they change things and kind of force us to do stuff. Remember when I started up that application for the live stream when we were interviewing Baby Hope?
Yeah, a lot of these companies are very.
We kept trying to click a stream or record tab, and it wouldn't work. But we had to go out of it and pay for it in order for that tab to be available.
Yes.
So what are they doing?
But I would say that there's a little bit of coercion because they are selling a thing is free.
It's free, 100%.
You type in free streaming platform for podcasters, it's going to have like, free. You could,
right.
But it's like, it's free for you to sign up. It's free for you to, maybe upload a video, or it's free for you to log on to somebody else's video. Yeah. But when it comes to actually streaming and doing the thing that what you really need from it, you're going to have to pay. And I would say that there's a lot of apps like that. And a lot of them, they'll get you in the door, by saying like, this is free, this is free, this is free. But when you actually try to use the functions, it's not free. And I think that that's very misleading, and I think it turns a lot of customers off. But absolutely. I think if you're straightforward from the jump, like, hey, you're paying, like, this is the free version of it, and then this is the paid version of it. Or if you want to unlock this, you got to pay this amount of money. I think more customers are okay.
We just
with
talked
that.
about Walmart's using it, the fucking coercion, basically, where they tried to initially use their those self-checkout lines to replace workers so they could save money. And then they ended up getting a lot of their fucking products stolen. So they want to shut it down. And now they want you to pay a subscription fee to still get express shopping. And it's like, fuck you. I'm not paying for that shit. You're not about to persuade me into doing that like it's something good. You were just trying to not pay people. That's all the fuck you was trying to do. And it backfired.
Yeah.
All right, cut it out, man.
Yeah, man.
No Diddy, bro. That seems kind of forced too. The whole no Diddy thing popping up is like, oh man.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same.
And they're killing Meek Mill online, man. Meek Mill is getting the worst of it.
Yeah.
He just released some song and he's like, we've been on the streets trying to make it so and so, right? Just the typical Meek Mill, Audemars, whatever, like the typical meat meal flow, right? And then in the comments, the very first comment said creams and nightmares. Bro, I was fucking, it's fucked up, but I was laughing.
Yeah.
But I think that anybody that's remotely affiliated with anything in that fucking legal document with Diddy, they're going to get chastised and made fun of. Yeah. Like, imagine if all of a sudden fucking Fat Joe gets implicated in it. Mm-hmm. He like, look here, man. Like, Joey Crack ain't never had nothing to do with nothing Diddy was doing. Them prostitutes was trying to get with me. I wasn't trying to do nothing. They want to have sex with Crack for free. I said, nah, I'm a married man. I don't know what you're talking about. And then Charlamagne will be like, are you sure you didn't have sex with him, man? I'm just saying, man. I'm just trying to see if you really had sex with him or not. Charlamagne will press the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up with DJ Envy's shit going on with this, with the whole housing?
Oh, we ain't heard nothing about it, so it's probably done went away.
I know his homie Big Pun about to go down like a motherfucker.
Big Pun. Oh, the other dude,
Caesar.
Yeah,
Caesar. They said he was doing fat shit when he got the money. They just sold a bunch of food places.
I don't know. The thing that I would say about all these situations is I don't. It's not entertaining for me. Obviously, we have a podcast, so we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
But it's not entertaining for me to see these people like doing criminal activities.
No.
You know, I just wish everybody was on the up and up, but you know, that's just the way the world works.
There's always some satire built into the people's despair when they caused it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if you did something that's legitimately fucked up, I have no problem laughing at you. Mm-hmm. I have no problem laughing at you as long as especially if you violated somebody, you infiltrated someone's trust, or you was doing some shit you shouldn't have been doing. Oh, I'm definitely gonna get some laughs off.
Yeah, we're gonna get these jokes off because you deserve it.
Yeah. I mean, like at the end of the day, if you stole money from people, wrote bad record deals or whatever, yeah, I'm about to get these jokes off, and you in jail, so you can't do nothing. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna wait till they lock Diddy up. But if they do lock him up, I'm finna go ham.
You know what's wild? This dude Wack was on the phone with R. Kelly the other day.
Are you serious?
Wack 100. Yeah, he was talking to him like a regular person.
Wow.
And R. Kelly was like, "Yeah, you know, it's crazy situation. Like, you know, sometimes they'll get you even if they ain't got, you know, all the evidence that they needed." And I was like, "Dang, you really talking to R. Kelly on the phone like
That's
that?
crazy.
Like, this is a man that's been convicted and is serving prison for some wild stuff, but to be associated with that is kind of crazy."
Yeah, that Whack 100 dude, that dude's weird. I don't know what's up with him. Well, let's move on, man. I think we said enough about this damn case. Switching gears. Multiple women share stories of random punching attacks in New York City on TikTok. Yeah, this is a New York puncher. This motherfucker's running around hitting women, man. This is not okay. Second arrest made after multiple women share stories of random punching attacks in New York City on TikTok. New York, 2 suspects have been arrested. One 40-year-old man was charged with the assault of a TikTok influencer in New York City earlier this week as several women have come forward to share similar stories. Influencer Haley Magookin, who goes by Haley Kate, made a tearful video recalling an attack on March 25th near Chelsea West 16th Street and 7th Avenue. Magookin posted several times about the assault on social media, and within a few days, her story has gotten over 5 million likes. Skabuki Stora has since been charged in the attack. Stora himself has somewhat of a following on Instagram. He maintains multiple TikTok accounts showing him aggressively approaching police and strangers, many of them women. He is being held on $10,000 bail. The incident comes on the streets of a recent wave of women saying they were also randomly punched while walking into New York City. Malik Maya, a 30-year-old Brooklyn man, has been charged with assault after being arrested in Greenwich Village, according to ABC News reporter Aaron Cattersey. Look here, man. Here's the fucked up thing about this story. Women talk about not feeling safe in general. Now you got this punk motherfucker socking women in the head and running off. You know what? I think the best thing we could do to counteract this type of stuff is if you see this activity, I'm dead serious. This is going to sound terrible. But there's not enough, people are not being disciplined enough. See, if we was in another country and you steal something, they'll slice your motherfucking hand off for stealing.
Yeah.
So if you see a dude punch a girl in the head and run, you need to knock his motherfucking ass out.
Yeah, cut his arm off.
Look, I don't got a knife.
I don't got a knife.
But like, these people need to be concurrently punished. Like, and people, and look here, this is probably gonna get flagged, or I don't know what's gonna happen, but I have to speak my mind. All these mass shootings, we need to shoot these motherfuckers first. As soon as they walk in the building, they start blasting. We need to have soccer moms and motherfucking coaches and cashiers. They should be shooting right back at these motherfuckers right when they do it. Yeah. Because we live in a world where we're not. There's only so much you can do without being like violent. Sometimes is absolutely having the capacity for violence. Sometimes is absolutely necessary. I think it's important to be peaceful and to be kind and to be loving, but you need to have the capacity for violence. Because I'm going to tell you right now, imagine it's not like a young woman. Imagine it's an elderly woman and he punch her in the head and run off. And you just sit there and let this punk motherfucker run off. He's going to think he could do that again. And then the next time, what if it's your grandma? What if it's your wife? What if it's your sister? What if it's your auntie? And this motherfucker's running around hitting women. Knock him out. Don't even let the police get him. Fuck him up in the street right there. If a motherfucker run into a store and they start shooting, kill him. I'm tired of seeing the same news headlines of motherfuckers that commit mass violence and they get to live. Man, fuck that shit. Yeah. Fuck that shit. We need to start hurting these people. And if I get flagged for it, or they say, hey, this YouTube video has been taken down, hopefully it stays up long enough for people to get the message. Because we just say thoughts and prayers. We need to pray for the family. I believe in prayer. I feel like prayer is a prayer. What would you call that? That's like sending positive energy. Right. But you can send all the positive energy in the world, and it's not going to stop evil people from being evil. Evil people exist. Evil people exist. It doesn't matter how much you pray. It doesn't matter how kind you are. It doesn't matter how nice you are. You could give somebody $5 and they'll blow your fucking head off. That's when you need to have the capacity for violence. You need to be able to switch it on and switch it off. If you out, let's say you a single mom, you out minding your business, you taking a stroll with your kids, you out at the beach somewhere, and some dude pull out a knife on you and your kids. Give me your money right now. Give me your money right now. If you have a gun, you better blow his motherfucking head off. Don't you sit there and wait for him to stab you and stab you. Blow his head off. Fuck him.
What if he comes over, he's like, hand over the milk.
Well, she got some big titties or something?
Yeah.
What? You crazy. Oh my God.
Keep your money. I just want the milk.
I don't know, man. You can't walk up on a woman with big titties. They be violent, bro. A woman with big titties will beat your motherfucking ass. I've seen some women get in some fights, and usually the one with the big breasts, they always win, bro. They always win. Them breasts don't hold them back. They'll be swinging on you.
Yeah. That's a back workout all day long.
Man, she been dealing with them big titties her whole life. She'll beat your motherfucking ass.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah.
That's like wearing a weight vest.
Yeah, she went wearing a fucking sports vest her whole life, man. She been having a workout with that motherfucker, doing all kinds of workouts at the gym. Any woman with titties like that will handle you quick. That knife won't work. You only gonna slash about 2% titty. By then, she already just beating your ass. This is so terrible. This went just way too far. Damn. There's somebody listening to this with big titties and like, I'm offended. I use mace.
Bro, the most classic joke in freaking comedy movie history is when that nigga Jim Carrey on Me, Myself, and Irene. Remember the girl was breastfeeding on the bench?
Oh, yeah.
And that nigga just took the baby away and he was just sucking on her.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy. That shit can never come out today.
You cannot do that in 2024.
Nah, that would not fly. That would never come out. That's why I appreciate a lot of older films.
Yeah.
Like it was the movie Deuce Bigalow, Mel Gigolo.
Yeah.
And then he was with that tall girl walking down the shit.
Said, that's a huge
bitch. He's like, damn, it's Godzilla. That's a huge bitch. But that shit could not last in today's world. Nah, but I'll say this and then I'll hand it off to Keith. I just think it's really disheartening to hear this, man. Like, I think Like when women say things like, oh, I don't feel safe. I just feel like men are just judging me with their eyes. And when I hear some of that shit, I'm just kind of like, oh my God, stop exaggerating. Right. But what I stop myself from doing is I stop myself from literally pigeonholing every woman, because it's absolutely accurate that some men are like, they are being creeps, and they are being violent, and they are invading women's spaces. Mm-hmm. And I can never quantify what it's like to be a woman. So like on a serious note, I like to listen to what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? And in this case, bro, I seen on TikTok like 3 girls say some man just punched me and ran away. And I'm like, this shit just seems like it seems like the brick lady situation, like the one that lied. Mm-hmm. But what you cannot do as a man is you cannot invalidate every woman because one fucking woman lied. Mm-hmm. That is not okay. You need to hear women out, especially when they're being assaulted by a man. Don't ever turn a blind eye to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's facts. I would say this. I think it's not that deep and also that deep at the same time. Yeah. And I say that because on one end, it is that deep because these are, real women that are getting assaulted by a man. And that's, that's never cool, under any circumstance. But I also, how like, in court, like somebody may not get convicted if they plead insanity or something like that. I think that this has to like factor in. Excuse me, that has to factor into some of these situations, because no man in a right mind is just going around punching people. You know what I mean? Like, so I just think that sometimes, and not to, like you said, not to diminish anybody's experience or
100%.
invalidate them, but I think sometimes you got to realize like these people are mentally ill, like these people are mentally disturbed, and even they may carry themselves like like they got it all together, or they are TikTokers or whatever. But sometimes like that be the worst ones, the ones that could turn it on for the camera, but behind closed doors they're just losing their mind. Like there was a guy on that was frequently on DJ Academic's podcast that was going around, and he was like basically like brushing up on women, touching little girls, walking around Walmart, taking pictures under girls' dresses and skirts and stuff, like doing some wild stuff. But on the surface, he's like podding. Like he hops on DJ Academic stream, and they'll talk about Drake and all these other, rap beefs and all these other situations. And then when there was rumors of this stuff coming out, and he denied it. He was like, yo, that ain't me. Like if that happened to me, I would be locked up right now. There's no way I would be still out here streaming and making money. And, and then all of a sudden the video dropped, and it showed exactly step by step what he did. He was in the store. He brushed up on a girl. The young girl got uncomfortable. She moved away, and he was like acting like he was looking at something in the aisle, in the makeup aisle, and it was all lies, lies that he was telling. So, but, that I hate to clump that in with like a normal me and you, because that's that's real mental illness. You know what I mean? And not to justify it, or not to say that it's, it's not like the same experience. I'm just saying like those situations are like outlier situations.
100%. No, you're right. It is a mental illness, but let's be very clear. If I see a man hit a woman, right, and then I grab him by his shirt and slam him to the ground and I sock him in his jaw, he'll be like, stop. Okay, please stop. So now you're rational.
Yeah, now your mind works.
Now your mind is working. When you punched that woman and ran off, you was mentally ill. But now that I done broke your jaw, now you want to beg me to stop punching you.
Yeah.
So are you really crazy, or are you just a piece of shit? Which one is it?
Yeah, I guess that's secured to mental illness. Just punching somebody in the
head. He punched a woman, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, please. Oh my God. The statutes of limitations. Dash code 7 AQW. I went to law school. It's like, bro, you socked the normal out of that motherfucker.
Bro, I was pumping gas the other day, and my friend, he got married. So after the wedding, I just went to the gas station down the street or whatever. And I'm just pumping my gas, and then I hear somebody walking up, and they're like, my nigga, I'm about to blow that store up, or something crazy like that. And I'm just thinking like, dang, this mental illness is crazy over here.
Yeah.
And then I look up, and it's just like homeless white woman, and she was like walking up to the employee of the gas station.
Yeah.
And they just had like the lady at the gas station was like, hey, what happened? Like, and they had a whole conversation about the whole thing. But it was so crazy to me that this white lady would just so casually use like the N-word, you know?
What?
Because it wasn't like you know how like the kids nowadays say the N-word? It's just like, my nigga, my nigga. You know, it's just like kind of like just like a trendy thing. This lady had to be like mid 30s, you know, late 30s, and she just using it like.
She calling the cashier the N-word?
She was just like, she was saying it like a nigga. Like,
Oh
my nigga,
God.
I'm about to blow this store up. But I was like, what the heck? Who is saying this? And then I looked over, it's this homeless white lady.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Did she have an accent when she said it?
Nah. If it was an accent, it was like a real Oildale accent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Maybe she fucked a lot of black guys. She probably thinks she can use the word now.
You get enough black dick, then you can you get quoted in.
Oh, that's so crazy. That's wild, yo.
Yeah, you get enough BBCs, you can say that.
I don't play that shit. Like if you're not a black woman and you use the N-word, I gotta stop that shit.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
not cool.
That ain't cool, baby.
that
I know
would
you're
turn you
brown or whether you Mexican or Filipino, whatever you are. Like I cannot be with a woman that's calling me nigga and you're not a black woman. And we don't really even use that word too often ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a cultural thing. Like I would not date some woman of another culture and call her something that they say within their culture. It's just not right.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it's almost, you know how we all got something we say culturally, whether somebody's Italian or Mexican or Filipino, whatever they are, or Chinese, and they say something that's considered an insult from someone else, but they say it to each other and they get along. I'm not calling you that. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't know. It's black people are in a weird space where we we're cool and we're hip hop, you know, we're clothing, we're language, slang, and it's just like everybody wants to be like us in some capacity. And that I think that word in particular is just kind of like gotten away from us. You know, it is just kind of part of our dialogue. But like I said, I do wish that we were in a space where.
Truth be told, though, too, what it is hip hop is the most popular genre. And what happens is when you listen to music and your favorite song has nigga in it, every other word, and you say the N word enough to yourself because it's your favorite song, right? And then you go to the concert and you say it, you might start externalizing this. It's probably not something you're intentionally doing, and you're probably not racist at all. But when you listen to country, you don't have to do that. When you listen to whatever, reggae or whatever else, or rock, there are not like words and certain things within that genre where you have to hold back. Hip hop is the only art form that if you're like a white guy and you live in like, you know, freaking in the South or wherever you live, and you love Lil Durk, you know what I'm saying, or you love Lil Baby, and you say the N word while you in your pickup truck driving down the street, and then you get around a black friend and you say it, and he's like, "What?"
Yeah.
So I see both sides of it. I see the fact that like if you use a nigga in a conversation every other freaking 10 words and you're not black, it's awkward as a motherfucker to hear that. I don't even correct people that do that. I don't own the N word, right? But at the same time, I'm like, man, you gonna say that shit around the wrong person.
Yeah, there's some people that are more passionate about it than me. I would say that it's very uncomfortable for me, you know, regardless of like any non-black person. But like you said, I'm the same way. I'm not policing the
y'all. You go ahead and say it. My thing is, if anybody gives you pushback and you just say, man, I really don't, I don't really like care to hear that, and they be like, really, I'm not racist, man, it's not a big deal. I'll be like, no problem, man, just keep using it. Just make sure when you use it, just get around a lot of black people when you say it next time.
I think there's a lot of fake people too. I would say there's a lot of like white dudes, Mexican dudes and stuff like that use the N word in a casual day-to-day conversation, and then when they get on their platforms, whether that's like YouTube or they're doing like interviews or they're doing just different just different things that are more widespread than the normal conversation, they don't use that word. And they don't use that word for a reason because like they know that there's an issue. There's an issue with them being seen by the masses using that word. So if you have to do that, then it's probably best you probably don't say it at all.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I can see that. I can see that. Yeah. I don't know how we got here, but yeah.
White niggas.
Yeah. Okay. When it comes to this though, man, I just think I believe in what they call it, swift justice. I think that sometimes people that are doing something wrong, that once they get away from it or once they feel like they've gotten away with it, there's no reason for you to stop. I'm telling you, this dude here, all it would have took is one dude seeing this shit and grabbing that motherfucker by his neck and slamming his ass on the ground and probably socking him out or just slamming him real hard. And hopefully somebody gets it on camera.
But I think that would have stopped in the moment. I don't know if that would have done anything for the larger.
Let me explain something here. Whenever you hit a woman and you run off and somebody get a hold of your ass and somebody else is recording, let's say, for example, they caught it. Let's say somebody caught it concurrently. They're walking their dog. I'm walking my dog, Sparky. We're having a great day. And this motherfucker comes, sock a woman. Oh my God, he punched her. And he runs off and some dude come around the corner and grab him and sock the lights out on this motherfucker. He's going to think twice because people see him now. When you on TikTok and that video got 10 million views, you are now known as the guy that beats women that got socked out. So you're going to think twice before you punch another woman because people know you now. So this is a little bit different.
I just think it, I don't think that that's the case. Like I relate it to like, which is not a great example, but it's the only example that I can think of. You know, when you think about To Catch a Predator, right? You have these people on here. Chris Hansen comes out and he's like, hey, we've met before, right? And, you know, and it's the guy that was on season 1 and he got caught. And, you know, and these people aren't getting beat up, but I'm just saying like it's a comparable situation where there's a consequence to their actions that doesn't necessarily prevent them from doing the same thing again. So
I hear you, but in most cases, what's happening is you're being publicized as a fucking predator that was trying to get a 13-year-old boy, and now you were a youth pastor or whatever you were, and now everybody knows.
Yeah.
So the thing about it is, the chances of you trying to do this again, you will be more discouraged. Is the point I'm trying to make. I'm not saying it necessarily changes anything, but if somebody lumped your bitch ass up and socked you in your face, you'd be less likely to go out hitting women again because somebody's going to see you again and they might do it again. Even if you got a knife or mace, you might get your ass whooped again. I just really like every time like those pedophiles that go up on there with them two, man, I wish they turn the cameras off and beat they motherfucking ass. Fuck them, man.
Get on the ground.
I just feel like I feel like we allow I don't say we're not incentivizing bad behavior, but I don't think we punish it enough. Yeah. I think some people need to be punished, bro. Like they really do. And we see the result of people not getting punished. You got people up north in the Oakland area that's robbing people broad daylight, carjacking them at a freaking red light. They hopping out, carjacking these people. They took this minivan from this mom, like a single mom, that she used that van to get to work. And people were sitting on the city bus watching her get robbed. Like, oh my God, they really robbed her. They threw her out the car.
Yeah.
Man, I'm going to keep it real. These daytime carjackings, these people need to be shot.
Yeah.
They need to be shot, man. Because the thing about it is people might say, no, you can't shoot them. That's not right because it's going to make people think that they could just be violent towards anyone. It's like, man, look, dog. Like, we don't have a real resolution. We keep wanting to preserve criminals' lives. Fuck them.
Yeah.
If you come in my house, I'm shooting you.
Let's care for the criminals.
Yeah, just less care, man, because it's bad. Like, that's why everything is leaving Oakland. Panda Express left Oakland. In-N-Out Burger left Oakland. All these places are leaving because they keep allowing this crime out there. Right? And they're allowing it. The reason why I know they're allowing it, because remember recently we talked about in the Bay Area, I think it was in San Francisco, they had a Chinese, I think it was a Chinese, some type of politician that came down, and they cleared all the fucking homelessness out. Remember that?
Yeah.
They cleared all the homelessness out. So
Yeah, the president
yeah.
or something. Yeah. came
Yeah, he
down.
was a political figure, somebody of great importance that came down, and somehow Gavin Newsom and that whole local government there found a way to get every fucking homeless person that was asleep out on the street. They found a way to remove all those people.
Yeah.
So you can't find a way. If you find a way to move all those homeless people, so this Chinese politician could come into the clean streets and everything's looking good. If you have the power to do that, you got the power to protect the people from that area. You know, to where if somebody's robbing them, you could create a law or some type of something. This is ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was thinking about when the whole To Catch a Predator things. I think what they should do, instead of just them getting arrested, like when they walk out, it should be like a bunch of Fleece Johnsons just standing outside the door and just wait, and then they just get to do whatever they want to with those people. Because, like you said, I think a lot of times what happens is when they walk out, they'll get arrested, then they go into protective custody. And they get out, and then they register as a sex offender, and then they might change their name, and then it's just like, you know, they could go out and, you know, still live their life. They might move to a different city or whatever the case may be, but they're still kind of back in the world, just living their normal lives. But there's a lot of times there's no like real repercussions outside of, you know, spending a few years in prison, if that, 16 months maybe.
Yeah. This shit is, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't got too much more to offer this conversation, bro. I just think that as long as we don't do anything as a nation of people, we're going to have the same. There's still going to be mass shootings all the time because there's no laws that are really stopping motherfuckers from doing this. There's always going to be women getting punched in the motherfucking head because they're, you know, not enough people are willing. People are just willing, like, I'm calling the police. Man, sometimes you don't need to call them. Sometimes you need to call them after that motherfucker had his teeth knocked out. I think that we need to do a better job as a collaborative in people to where we not just quick to pull a phone out. We actually are people that are going to, you know, some actions. Like if you see an old lady getting punched out, are you going to be like, I'm calling the cops? Or are you going to really like, are you going to try to do something? Like, what are you going to do? That all I know is back in the day, whether it was black folks, white folks, don't matter who it was. If it was the fucking 40s or whatever, and an old lady get punched out, somebody gonna get their ass whooped that day. I can tell you that much right there.
Yeah, it was a different time.
Yeah, man. Yep. All right, switching gears. Caitlin Clark. Recently, Ice Cube made a $5 million offer to Caitlin Clark. Ice Cube's $5 million Big 3 offer to Caitlin Clark gets a response. Ice Cube's historic Big 3 offer has received a response from Iowa Hawkeyes baller Caitlin Clark, who earlier this month became NCAA's Division I basketball all-time leading scorer. According to CNN, when speaking to the media before her Sweet 16 matchup against Colorado on Saturday, Clark expressed her own surprise regarding the announcement. To be honest, I found out about the Big 3 thing at the exact time you all did, and my main focus is to play basketball, revealed Clark. Clark is lying. She knew about this shit. I honestly don't talk about those things with really anybody. I have other people that deal with it, excuse me, and they haven't said a word to me about it. That's a lie. My main focus is on this team and helping us find a way to beat Colorado and hopefully win another after that. I think it was genius by Ice Cube, and people are so like short-sighted that they said, why would you put Caitlin on there with grown-ass men? They'll beat her ass. Let me be very clear. I don't think he was planning to put Caitlin Clark on the court with a bunch of grown men. I believe he was willing to start a new division for women. I think that was his long-time goal, and I think he had the foresight to see where women's basketball was going. And this class of women that are going to the WNBA is the most elite class of women to go to the WNBA since its inception. I started watching women's basketball. First of all, my sister played 4 years varsity. So I really grew up watching women's sports, more specifically women's basketball. So I have a deeper level of appreciation for the sport. And I remember when the WNBA first started, it had huge stars like, Tina Thompson, Rebecca Lobo, Lisa Leslie, Dawn Staley was there early on. Like, it was a legitimate league. It was a really good league. And Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Swoops, all these big fucking names, right? And that was the golden era of WNBA basketball. Now this group of girls coming in, they can fucking ball, and they got some hoopers that are going into this next one with Paige Beckers and freaking Angel Reese and Flau'jae Johnson and Alyssa Peely. Like, it's a bunch of really good hoopers that are in. I would compare this class of women to the 96 class, like, not obviously better than or less than, but I would compare this class of women that are going into the WNBA draft to the 96 class of with Kobe and motherfucking Nash and all of them. I think Iverson was on there that year too. And that was one of the most legendary classes of all. I think Tracy McGrady was in that class too, wasn't he? Or am I tripping? He's the year after. He's the year after, I think. But that was an elite class for the NBA. And I think that's what's going to happen here. And I think this group of women is going to be the first multi-millionaire contract holders within the WNBA. And why am I saying that? Because recently the Las Vegas Aces sold the whole fucking season tickets out. Sold them out, right? They're getting huge backing over there. So between the Las Vegas Aces, which is the most well-ran team in all the WNBA, going from that and all these girls from college coming in, it's going to be some fucking money being made.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be some money being made in women's basketball, and Ice Cube wanted his hands in it. And also, no one brought this up. By Ice Cube offering that money and wanting to extend that contract to Caitlin Clark, that's putting pressure on the WNBA to pay these women now.
I would imagine that the WNBA is not as the Big Three is probably not as lucrative as the WNBA.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, so they got the money to burn. They could spend that money.
Yeah, but it's absolutely not. But I think that Ice Cube had the foresight to see where the game was going and said, I could offer her $5 million.
I know what I'm going to get on the back end.
Absolutely. I know what I'm going to get on the back end, and I know I could get girls that could ball. I know I could get girls that's getting cut from all these WNBA teams and start my own league. And he could still pay them money. He could pay them, man, Ice Cube could easily pay these girls $98,000. He could pay them $140,000, $200,000. Like, Cube got the money to pay. If it's just 3-on-3 with a certain amount of teams, he could pay them $120,000. He could afford that. $140,000. Yeah. Like, Cube got bread, homie.
Yeah.
So if he offered her $5 million, she'd be the highest paid woman. But it's other women that's getting cut from these teams because they don't have enough expansion teams and roster sizes for the WNBA. But that shit is about to change. I told Keith earlier, I said a good place for women to start a new expansion team is actually Oakland or San Francisco, because they lost the fucking Raiders and they just lost the Oakland A's, or the Oakland A's they're gonna be going to Vegas. So it's like, bro, they need a team they could get behind, because their economy is getting sucked off. Or that was
no Diddy.
That was a bad analogy.
No Diddy, right?
Yeah,
there.
they're getting the economy is getting pulled away.
Yeah.
But they're losing too much. In-N-Out Burger and Walgreens and all this shit is leaving Oakland. If you have a women's expansion team come there, I think the city of Oakland could really get behind it.
Yeah, and Oakland is actually like a cool place. Like, it's a nice city. There's just there's not a lot going on because there's a lot of, like you said, like a lot of athletic teams are leaving there, and then, businesses being shut down. It's like some COVID drawback and all that kind of stuff. But they're, like you said, they're the type of city that supported the Golden State Warriors for years, selling out the stadium for years and years and years, even when they wasn't winning championships. So that would be dope to have a female or WNBA team there. I think that would be fire. But I think that what Ice Cube is doing is it's interesting, because Caitlin Clark didn't say no. She didn't say that, obviously I'm going to the WNBA. She just kind of said she got people that handles that conversation. So I would say like it does. It's only tricky because it's a 3-on-3 basketball league. I think if Ice Cube had something that was actually 5-on-5, and you were able to be like almost like the Negro League versus the MLB or the ABA versus the NBA or something like that, where people were playing the same game, but they're just going to go into a different league
Right.
based on the school they went to, or if they went to like a smaller university or something like that. I think that would be a little bit more entertaining for women. But yeah, I think I can't see her doing it, but I do like the conversation around it, and I like that Ice Cube is swinging for the fences because that's the only way you're gonna get some of these big names.
Well, hold on. I could see her doing it because the Olympics now has a 3-on-3 basketball tournament that existed only after Ice Cube started his 3-on-3.
Yeah.
So it's fairly new. I know Haley Van Lith, who plays for LSU, was on the team. She was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I don't see why not. And Haley Van Lith is not she's decent. She's pretty good. She's a kind of good point guard, but she kind of not been playing as great lately.
Yeah.
But Haley Van Lith going to the Big Three is more beneficial to her going to the WNBA because she is not going to get a solid contract in the WNBA. Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
Angel Reese is going to get paid. Flau'jae Johnson is going to get paid. Caitlin's going to definitely get paid.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of girls. There's a girl on their team that's really good too, Anissa Morrow, who's also really good with LSU. So they're going to have some girls that are going to get paid. Paige Beckers is going to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
This is one from South Carolina. This is a fucking beast. Her last name is Fuwiley. I think it's Fuwiley.
Mm-hmm.
Man, she got handled like Jamal Crawford, bro.
Really?
No lie, bro. She got handled like fucking Jamal Crawford, bro.
Mm-hmm.
After we get done, I'll show you. But yeah, I definitely got to step up myself too. Definitely got to get some tickets to these Sparks games coming up next season. Because this is definitely a time to watch WNBA basketball.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Not too much else to offer on that. I'm just kind of excited to where the game is gonna go. I do. Whenever you mention that you do watch or enjoy women's basketball, it'll be dudes like, oh, nigga, stop playing. Stop. You being fake, this and that. It's like, I'm not being fake. I like watching the game. There was a time where women's basketball was a little bit uneventful. Like it wasn't that great. It wasn't very entertaining. But the NBA also had that fucking moment.
Yeah, it was some years.
It's been some years where the NBA was pretty uneventful. And NFL has its moments here and there, right?
Yeah.
But the WNBA, when they had it, it already didn't have a massive audience, so it made it even worse. But now, this is their time, man. So I hope these women get paid. And let's go ahead and switch gears and then wrap this shit up. Switching gears. Ain't I Fresh guy? Derek Lambert's viral outfit already has him sitting courtside. There's a viral video that's on TikTok, and it's this black dude. He has a striped polo on with some pants that are like creased up, and he has like some New Balances. And then the girls are like, "You ain't fresh." He's like, "I ain't fresh for real. I ain't fresh." And they're like, nah, definitely not, right? So they're like making fun of him a little bit, and the guy is dressing his age. He looks like he's like in his maybe mid to late 40s, and he's just wearing just decent clothes. But he's went on a little bit of a journey recently, and I think it's really cool. Derek Lambert just wanted some Whataburger. What he got was much more than an affordable fast food meal. A group of women recorded the 40-year-old outside of an establishment in Arlington, Texas. Lambert is originally from Monticello, Arkansas, but has lived in Texas for the past 3 years. His calm ensemble in the clip featured a blue scripted Ralph Lauren polo, perfectly creased jeans, and a pair of baby blue New Balances 574s. Those are nice. After reading that breakdown, I'm sure you thought they were hyping him up. Unfortunately, they were clowning him. The exchange made it onto Twitter, and thus the I Am Fresh meme was born. It was just natural. It was just natural, man. It was spur of the moment, says Lambert, in regards to now signature catchphrase. They done made it like a national anthem. I'm also thinking about trademarking and doing some research. Shout out to him.
Don't think about trademarking it. Don't say that out loud.
Don't say it out loud, nigga.
Yeah, because it's probably somebody already.
By the time you try to say put Iron Fresh, or some nerd from fucking Silicon Valley already fucking trademarked.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Shortly after the video was posted, thousands of people came to his defense. Joe Freshgoods asked for his contact info. A few days later, Lambert doubled down and let's see, another fire monochromatic fit hit timeline featuring an olive green LRG t-shirt on March 26th. Yeah, LRG posted an ad on Instagram starring Lambert in his crouch pose. The brand hosted him on a shopping spree at Dillard's in Dallas on March 28th. LRG and Lambert flew to New Orleans for a photo shoot on Bourbon Street. By nightfall, Lambert was sitting courtside at the Pelicans game. Jeans still complete with a fresh crease. It's been a whirlwind of a week, to say the least, and it all stemmed from an 11-second clip on social media. It's pretty cool, man, Lambert says. I would never dream of something like this. We caught up with Lambert to discuss his viral moment working with LRG, starch jeans, and more.
Starch jeans.
And look here, man. First of all, hello, LRG. Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck this up. Because LRG, I used to wear it a lot, especially back in like 2008, 2008 to like 2010. I wore a lot of LRG stuff. And I'd say more than that, probably like 2011. But their design started to get a little wonky over time. But you got this guy that's displaying some loyalty to your brand. And I think that you should, have him as I don't know if they're paying him like that. Hopefully they're actually physically paying him money. Mm-hmm. Because he started really wearing his LRG shit. Mm-hmm. But I would say it's genius marketing because social media already did the job for you. Mm-hmm. You don't have to spend millions of dollars on a campaign. Mm-hmm. Social media already did all the fucking work. Mm-hmm. All you need to do now is bring this guy in and put up a few paid ads on social media and pay this guy to stick with the brand. And then ask him, hey, what do you like, buddy? Like, what do you wear? Mm-hmm. Look at his clothing. You looked at him with that polo. You could recreate that with LRG. Mm-hmm. Get some polos. Have a what do you call it? Like a brand within the brand with like some creased jeans, some pre-creased jeans. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I think that when it comes down to it, like LRG is in Walmart right now. I seen it and I was like, wow. But you know what else was in Walmart, but it had a really good moment again? Champion was in Walmart for years, and all of a sudden, boom, it fucking took off. Everybody's wearing Champion hoodies and Champion.
I think Reebok in Walmart?
Yes and no. Mm-hmm. More of the MMA version of Reebok was in there. Mm-hmm. I don't know if like the other, like, cause the Reebok no longer does that Reebok. You know what I'm talking about? That swoosh. They don't really do that anymore.
The RBK with the different logo.
Yeah. Now the Reebok that I have seen, I think it was in Walmart. It almost has. It looks like that, like a triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they got away from the old Reebok logo they used to have. But yeah, man, I think it's cool, and hopefully LRG can make the most of this moment, because the thing about social media is there's moments. That's all it is. It's not like it's like that little Terrio moment back in the day. Ooh, kill him. Ooh, kill him. Ooh, ooh. And then now you see if you I think for like a while he was still trying to do it, and it just got it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
And the Terrio got real fat at the time, and I'm like, oh, this is not cool.
Yeah. I would say the same thing with the LRG. I don't know if they're going to make like, some type of not content, but like clothing surrounding this person. But I would definitely say use this as an opportunity to bring the brand back, and like you said, put them in some ads, put them in some commercials, put them in some photos and different things like that, and just have him spread across your Instagram and whatnot, and give him a little bit of money. You pay him 10 racks, 15, whatever, something to compensate him from actually like putting eyes back on your brand. But I think that's like that's a testament to like an OG just remaining an OG, because like he not trying to be one of these young niggas out here with the bust down chain and the tight jeans and all this stuff. He was like, and he was actually clean, like for not necessarily something that I would wear, but he was clean like for his age, and he definitely dressed his age, and I respect it. I respect it to the fullest. So I hope more and more things come from him. Hopefully, I hope too, because like you said, a lot of these things are like a flash in the pan. I hope that he's able to leverage this in some way, shape, or form, because I see far too often, like the dude with the ocean spray, the dude that the Fleetwood Mac whole situation, like that was kind of like,
yes,
that was like super huge. He got commercials and all these
Yes.
things, and I don't know what he's doing nowadays, but I would just like for some of these people to like like for us, if we have some type of random, maybe Eddie is driving an old school truck and it just like bring back like, I don't know, maybe Ford contacts him or Chevy contacts him or whatever, and he gets these things. He has actually something to leverage, whether it's like some hats or a podcast or whatever the case may be, where people could kind of like get to know him more. But I think a lot of times with these situations, it just happens so fast. These people ain't really got like trademarks in order. They ain't really got like podcast set up. They ain't really got YouTube channel set up. So by the time like they get all that stuff set up or try to make something happen with it, like the moment has already passed them by.
Yeah, the moment, and it's only a moment. By next week, I Ain't Fresh is gonna start getting old already, because we don't appreciate things for very long.
Yeah.
Like we don't appreciate them. So I just hope that they could. Matter of fact, let me go to their Instagram, and I'm gonna see if they have done anything.
Talking about LRG.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see, because I don't know. Let's see, LRG. Okay, let's go to counts. Where the hell is it? What? I don't see it. Where the hell is LRG? What would it be under? Let me try to lift the research.
Got like a strange LRG clothing.
Here it is. Yep, LRG clothing. Yep.
Yeah.
LRG clothing. Here,
they got it right there. Okay.
Hold on.
All right, doing his thing. He got like the last 5 posts. If the feds
Wow.
watching. Yeah, they took him on a little shopping spree and whatnot. Yeah, his pants is crazy creased. He probably spent like 45 minutes darning his pants.
This is easy money. Oh, they hooking him up. They getting him polos. They getting him everything.
That's dope. Good for him, man.
Damn. Oh, they got him on the sideline.
Dang, he got 25K followers.
Damn, he do? Oh,
Yeah,
okay, that's good.
He actually he low key been has some traction though.
Really?
Yeah, it ain't like he know. I don't know there's no way of knowing like what his following look like, but he has a post from, and maybe it's kind of hard to say because this post from 2020 has 2,000 likes, so it probably went up.
Yeah,
like afterwards.
Afterwards, yeah.
Yeah.
He's sitting on it. Say I Ain't Fresh, and he like sitting on it.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. All they got to do though, first of all, here's the thing that sucks. This is what you want and what you don't want. I think him going with LRG is dope, but I don't want them to trademark that shit.
Yeah.
Because if they trademark it, that means they're going to get all the all the rights to that.
Yeah.
And he just going to be the guy like, okay, man, we love the trademark. We're going to pay, no, we love what you done. We want to pay you $75,000 to be a brand ambassador. Mm-hmm. And we'll just pay you flat rate, $75,000. But they're going to make millions off of that. I Ain't Fresh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, man.
Yeah. Man, I would love to have a moment like that, dude. Just bringing some brand back. That'd be fire.
Was it 25 years coming up? Jonas was the one pretty much who put me on that, man.
That's crazy, man.
What's a brand that you would want to, that ain't as popping no more, that you would want to bring back? I know you like LRG, but like outside of that.
To bring back, like, to bring back and also like sponsor the podcast. Just put a Stussy.
Stussy, I like Stussy.
Stussy is like it's highly relatable to people around you know, my age more specifically, you know, early 90s, early 90s, you know, brand. So let me go here. I wonder if they even have a fucking, let me see, Stussy. Yes, they do.
Stussy's still making clothes.
They got 5.8 million, but I think what they do is they have a brand that's it's pretty. It's like, I guess, I don't know if it's considered vintage or whatever it is, but that shit is expensive, man. Like, I'm gonna go to Stussy.com and they got like shirts for like $75, bro.
Yeah, it's definitely high end, like
It's like high end
streetwear, or like medium end streetwear.
I go to tees. Okay, when I'm looking for like a tee, I'm looking for just a regular old Stussy t-shirt. They used to have one with the 8-ball. Oh, this ain't terrible. It's $45, which is still high, but it's just the 8-ball shirt. I had one of those back in the day, back in 4th grade.
That's so
so
a little
cool.
much for a little kid.
But it wasn't expensive, man. We're talking about 94, 93.
No, I'm talking about wearing an 8-ball as a kid in school.
Oh, well, we didn't care. I mean, this is no different than fucking Young Jeezy Snowman t-shirts he came out with.
Yeah, they was priming you as a kid.
Yeah, they was like, hey, you need drugs.
Yeah, that's what they call it, school to prison pipeline.
Yep. I mean, I didn't go to prison. I've never been impacted by this, but yeah, this is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Looking at Stussy stuff, man. Hold on.
now Stussy is dope.
Yeah, that's pretty dope, man. This dude got a jacket. I bet you that jacket is expensive.
Yeah,
Let's see. Outerwear, denim, bottoms, knit, shirts. Let's go to shirts. Oh, we got something for Keith here.
what they got?
I don't know. It just looks kind of looks like something Keith would wear. Yeah, it's one of these flannel shirts.
Oh, okay.
Like, you look like it's, I don't know. It's just something that you would get from like Old Navy or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't fit shit at Old Navy, bro. I need to go shop at Old Gravy. Yeah. All right, man. Well, I think you've heard enough from us, man.
Yeah.
If you made it, man, I'm sorry we had to bum you out with the Diddy shit, but we had to talk about it. There's been some new developments earlier, so
They ain't bumming nobody out. This is the biggest thing in freaking
yeah, but
smoking right now.
Yeah, but I think some people might find some of it important, but it becomes a little mundane when you see coverage all the time, and some people might come here because they know we have some insight on stuff, but try to be a little entertaining. But life isn't always sunshine and rainbows, so sometimes you got to have some downer conversations.
Yeah.
But anyways, man, let's wrap this shit up. If you made it to the end of this episode, we genuinely appreciate you. Thank you for listening to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fings.
We're out of here.
Peace.